charge people with different crimes, including murder and arson and others, before courts of law. Your party, ODM, has been known to have and hold demonstrations, some which have turned violent and have resulted in the destruction of property to some extent. Does that equate to terror? And should such people be subjected to terror-related charges? Is the intention of the Prevention of Terrorism Act the correct piece of legislation to use in such instances?
This is a very hard discussion, Fred. And the reason why it's hard is because we are finding ourselves in a place whereby violence, whichever form of violence and the magnitude of violence, in a situation where you find yourself in protest, demos, picketing, all this. We are trying to codify violence. Violence by police and violence by the public, members of the public. And that codifying of violence is an unfortunate situation because when the Gen Z started the demos, or rather, actually it was protests. It was a brilliant thing because, number one, it was amorphous, it was leaderless, as they said it, and it was indeed leaderless, which in mature democracies, apart from France, which has got a different problem, and I could explain if I had time, right? France demonstrations and even celebrations are always violent. You saw what happened when the PSG won the Champions League. France was burning, right? So it's got a different connotation. But if you look at other countries, today if you go to the US, because I was in the US for about 7-8 years, you'll find people going to demonstrate amorphously outside White House, which is the equivalent of our State House. And they will go peacefully against, and they will demonstrate anywhere, including the Capitol equivalent. And the demos will be very peaceful, organized amorphously, people holding whatever they are holding, and then go back home peacefully. We must appreciate Gen Zs for almost getting to that extent. When you look at the genesis of the Gen Zs, because they came with a smartphone, water bottles, a flag. Last year, majority of the protests that they were doing, that were swelling, were like that. And in the beginning of those protests, there was no confrontation between them and the police. Why? Because they were peaceful. What happened, in my view, in my humble view, is that there are some political class that have killed a beautiful movement by Gen Zs. That political class could be in form of what you call activists, or in form of what you call political voices that are anti-government, that then took advantage of these protests and then weaponized them. Now in that weaponization, confrontation has come between the police and rioters. And in that case, you cannot identify that this is an activist, this is a Gen Z. It will eat everybody. So the first thing that I must say is that the police are not justified in whichever form to meet violence, in whichever magnitude, against demonstrators, to the extent that we have seen the deaths that we have seen in this country. That's not justified. The element of violence, in whichever form, by the institution that's supposed to protect protesters, cannot be tolerated, Fred. And that's why we, as ODM, have held the view, and I was on this show with you, Fred, against the bill by a member of ODM called Honorable Pasaris, who was trying to gag demonstrations where they should happen or whatever. This is not us. This is something we cannot allow, limitation of Article 37 of the Constitution. But then on the other side, the freedom that we enjoy to be able to go and picket, demonstrate under Article 37 starts with Article 1 of the Constitution. I'm going to try and make it a quick summary. It starts by saying sovereignty of this country lies with us, the people. And we must exercise it according to the Constitution. What is according to the Constitution? Chapter 4 of the Constitution, which gives us And like rights that cannot be taken away from us, including demonstration, including picketing, how to socialize. If you read Article 24 of the Constitution, okay, before you get to Article 37 of the Constitution, those rights come with responsibility.
Yes. And allow me to ask you a bit.
Just wait. Don't cut me because of the thought process. I'm just going to make it short. How do you account, Fred, when in the middle of the demonstration, some people have gone into the hospital, looted it, stopped the operation of the cesarean section in Kitengela, killed or almost maimed people, killed people by those actions, because then you put people in a situation whereby they cannot be able to get service in those hospitals? Will that be a crime? And if it's a crime, what crime would you call it?